Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and beyond. We are Nerds After Bedtime, and we're your hosts. I'm Shak.
I'm Isabella, and we're definitely not looking for alien listeners at the moment. We don't want any nuclear wars.
I'm Josh.
We do want alien wars, come at us. No, well, we'll be friendly. We'll be friendly. Okay.
Okay. So, we've been doing a lot of important, heavy research lately into monsters and magical creatures.
Not aliens.
Not aliens,
Sadly.
no.
Maybe another week.
No.
Yes.
For that heavy research, we've looked at a very interesting documentary called Spiderwick. All of it happened, absolutely.
Yeah, it was 100% accurate, and it was shocking.
Very shocking. Themes of genocide, people. It's a terrible show. It was literally just myself. I saw this documentary for the first time the other day, and it was very disturbing.
Just so you know, it's not a documentary.
It is a documentary.
Yeah,
Also, can I just say, for those of you who can't see us right now, she was like, myself, and then she grabbed my arm, and then she was like, and me.
And now we have a special guest.
Yes, our special guest who's
He is a
coming in
documentarian of magical beasts.
What's happening?
The one, the only, introduce yourself, man. I think your mic's on. Yes, it is.
Hello! What's happening? I'm Bogdan, and thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome, and please agree that we're not looking for alien listeners at the moment.
Okay, fine.
It's okay.
He wants genocide. We don't.
want
What
genocide.
is wrong with you?
I don't want I don't want genocide, I want alien friends.
Maybe you should talk to Elon Musk. He seems to be into that.
Ooh, maybe, if you can get me in contact.
Okay, sure, yeah, I'll email someone.
Nice.
He'll just address the email as, "Dear little alien man,
Oh, to
he
Elon
wants a friend."
Oh, he's going to email that to Elon Musk.
Yes.
Alien Musk. There we go, guys.
Nice
It's
one.
new fragrance coming out this summer. We're talking about a documentary that we saw recently. It's called Spiderwick Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all about magical beasts and how you don't want to find them.
Well, you do, but...
Wow.
No, you don't, because they kill you.
No, you do, because Seth Rogen is one of them.
Seth Rogen did nothing but be fat.
Not in your face.
And eat.
He spits in your face, eats, and...
Helps you see things.
Are we allowed to say spoilers? It's really,
It's
really
10 years
old.
old.
It's a really old documentary, so the ending of it is
Yeah,
Seth Rogen
Yeah?
eats the main villain, and that's it. Like,
I have seen it now, thanks.
you're welcome. Because the main villain of this genocide turns himself into a bird, jumps off a roof, and then he gets eaten by a fat goblin,
Nice.
and that's it.
Netflix and chill, everyone.
I mean, whatever you're into.
I mean, it was more of Amazon Prime and Fun Time. But
Other sponsors available, other places available.
oh yeah, I mean, we have Elon Musk sponsoring us, so I guess the head of Amazon, I don't remember your name, but we love you and we use your service all the time.
I heard it's called Am. Yeah, Am from Amazon.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
They're all the way from the Amazon as well. They do it in the jungle
Yeah, the
areas.
jungle. Oh god, they're going to get hurt a lot.
And it's very impressive that they can ship so quickly as well. But all of it comes from there.
No, it's like the jungle creatures.
We're going to topic.
No, but I'm getting on to the topic. It's the jungle creatures that get us there. Speaking of creatures, Spiderwick Chronicles.
Okay.
It was a very strange little documentary.
Okay, just to get off the documentary point, for those of you who actually know what Spiderwick Chronicles is, it's a Nickelodeon film adaptation of this book series. And because...
It's not a documentary.
And what are the books about? I've never heard of this, by the way.
It's a boy played by a boy who plays two people. It's very weird. A boy and his family move in here after a terrible, boring breakup of a family. Very generic. Oh yeah, the boy's
Shocking.
sad and everything, but everyone else is just like, I'm over it, the dad's gone, cha.
Meanwhile,
And you just have to watch as the children moan throughout the film and break apart the house and find little odd creatures stealing their stuff. And then you realise that those creatures are scared because there's other creatures that look like leaves, which aren't leaves, who will drag you through the forest with no fear of consequence.
That's not the movie at all.
I mean, it's part of the movie,
I'm
but...
pretty sure that was the beginning of the film. He was looking out the window at one point, looking at his twin brother, thinking, you know what, I have technology, but I'm not going to text him that he's in danger. I'm going to shout through this soundproof window window that for some reason this very old building is soundproof.
It wasn't soundproof.
His brother didn't hear him.
Just because you don't hear someone doesn't mean it's soundproof.
Fine, we established the brother has special abilities of no language.
Right.
Can't hear.
Very smooth right there.
So yeah, he got dragged away by leaves into the forest, and then he got threatened by absolutely nothing.
Well, he got threatened by abomination, I believe.
Abomination.
It was an old man. It was an old man.
Well, it was an old man who turned into abomination.
Right.
Oh yeah, because at first he looked like an old. The lesson for everyone: if there's an old man who looks at you with a slight twitch in his eye, he's probably going to turn into a giant hulking alien monster who will want to eat your brains.
So every time I'm gonna see an old person needing help, I'll just be like, "No, lady, you just want to eat my brains," and run in the opposite direction.
Exactly. And if they call you rude, call them out on the radio for trying to be rude to you. for
Okay,
trying to
I
eat
got
you.
this. All right, 5:00 next week. We're calling out some old people. New segment.
Okay, and for Bogdan, if you can see this is what it looks like.
That's what the old guy looks like originally.
Birdie.
No, that's
Before
That's
his
the actual
plastic surgery.
It looks
That's
like
the
that
creature.
Mendoza creature with snakes for her hair.
Medusa.
Yes.
Medusa, yeah.
Medusa, okay.
That's from like a cartoon from years ago. It
I
was
thought
just
Mendoza was
adapted.
a real guy.
Could be an interesting guy.
Like, do you want to actually describe the film instead of just doing this weird semi-description of what you think it is?
Okay, so in the film there's, two boys, Jared Grace and Simon Grace, both played by Freddie Highmore, and because Josh is the expert on Spiderwick Chronicles, you can continue this.
Well, basically, they move into a house, like Izzy said, and then they hear stuff going around, and then stuff gets stolen from them, and they find this little, like, elf sort of thing. It's like...
I don't know,
this really
it's
small
like a
thing.
Hulk hobby.
Yeah.
No, hobby?
Dobby.
Dobby.
There you go. And after you see it for a little bit, it steals all the stuff, puts it in a hole and thing, and then one of the characters finds it and then starts bashing in the wall with a broom to get at it.
Yeah, and it's
So
not
it destroys
just,
his house
It's
as
not
well.
just one time he bashes it. He bashes multiple holes, and then he breaks down a wall in his house.
Yeah.
And don't worry, it's never mentioned again.
Yeah, no. And they...
It's normal. This kid has issues.
Yeah, and they go up and
Clearly.
eventually they find him, and that's after the little creature ties the sister's hair up all to the bed, like literally.
That actually was never explained to why.
Yeah,
that
it's not
happened.
explained why. I think. There's
Okay, we
pictures.
found at least one plot hole.
Yeah, and when it gets angry, which it got angry when they stole the book, because the kid opens a book, and it suddenly creates loads of wind and a giant explosion, and just like wind whips out loads of noise, and he doesn't think at this point to stop reading the book. Carries on reading it.
Perfectly
And-
normal.
yeah.
Don't worry
What
about
else
it.
are you gonna do?
It happens with me all the time when
Yeah.
I read.
Yeah, and eventually he finds this little creature in his house, and when it gets angry, it's like the Hulk, but fat and
No.
small.
Yeah, so no muscle, just like a blob the size of half my forearm. Also, it's also like Dobby because it like hits itself with
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and the
When
only thing
it's
that
upset.
can calm it down is honey. So this really little angry creature that's angry that they give him the book, and spoilers, the book can basically, if it gets handed to no bad guy, everyone dies. But because he's got honey, it's all cool.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
to support this, the house is just filled with jars of honey, and the kids don't really comment on it
Yeah.
very much. It's just, oh, honey.
So
Also-
are you guys trying to promote this film or?
We're just confused by its existence.
Okay, so am I. So we're all on the same page.
So, because we were just confused earlier because we found out it was 5 books. They condensed it into one, which made all the characters very vapid and empty. Like there was no acting abilities apart from the little boy who played himself twice.
Okay,
He
yeah.
played twins.
Yeah, his name is Freddie Highmore. Everyone look him up, he's wonderful.
Shout out to the already famous guy.
Yeah. well.
We were thinking ways to improve it would have been maybe, well, I thought it should have been made into a TV series because if you have book series, logically you can stretch out more. However, then we realised there's actually no plot in most of the books.
No.
So,
I think one of them was they broke his house, the little guy, and the whole book was them building him another house. But it was just a birdhouse. So,
book number 1.
yeah, that was the whole book.
That was in the film. He made him a birdhouse, threw some honey in it, and was like, done.
Yeah.
10 minutes into the film.
And it moves on to the second book, like 10 minutes in, where he gets dragged off by these creatures. Then you meet Seth Rogen, which is pretty cool. He's like a pig who spits on your face, and
So
you can
just
see the
normal
other
Seth
creatures.
Rogen.
Why do you have? What's your beef with Seth Rogen? I actually like the guy and everything he does.
He doesn't work in this film. He does nothing.
He eats birds, and then he mentions it for a little bit.
He's
There's
important for plot points, but only to be like, oh my god, I need to tell this guy something. Oh, bird.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, they mention it for a little bit. It's meant the book's actually a lot darker. That there's like the entire race is just wiped out by these evil guys, and I think the Seth Rogen character, I think his name's like Hogwash or something like that. For a second, just goes Hog Squeal, and for a second he just goes, "Oh yeah, I gave him a book of the thing, and he wiped out my whole family," and then that's all that's mentioned of the death of the whole family.
He doesn't seem upset either, so I don't actually believe that was that guy. I feel like he killed his own family because he's obsessively eating birds and like, honey, are you gonna wash the dishes? I'm eating a bird.
No,
so he just killed all of them.
He's like, Dad, we want to eat. No, the birds are mine.
And then you find out his family were probably civilized and had knives and forks and ate turkey instead. And he just eats
turkey's still a bird.
No, but they cook it. They actually cook it. They don't jump from trees like he does, because he jumps from the trees. I feel like you're judging me.
We all are.
One thing.
Look, this is a safe environment, all right?
Nothing's safe when Shaq's around.
Oh, burn! Well, thanks for the invitation, bro.
We needed a witness.
To be fair, the movie was good that it didn't have any plot points it didn't really set up before. Like, they even set up when one of the scenes where there's these little fairy things, they set up the fact that he had headphones on him, like a previous scene, then you just sort of put them out. However, the dad's really weird. Like, he's left his daughter for a book, like 6-year-old daughter. Instead of like protecting her by burning a book, he decides to just go and live with fairies for about 80 years.
Oh yeah, and then we're like, oh, we came from your daughter, our great aunt. She's only 6. Nah, she's 80. You missed out a lot, including all the puberty. So well done.
Sounds like a lot like the later plot of that vampire series on HBO. What was it called? True Blood. Yeah. When they start introducing fairies and witches and it's all time travel. Like, what's going on? What are you doing?
Time travel. That. I mean, at least you could then go back and see how they turn into a vampire. Actually, whenever someone has a vampire thing, they always say they were made 200 years ago. I'd like to see something where they start the series like, I was made a vampire 2 days ago. Ooh. And it's like 21st century instead. Because like they have
a lot of stories to back up on that story.
Yeah.
Like, they've got 2 days worth of material to draw on.
Yes. 2 days worth of... I'm in a lot of pain right now. It's like Extreme Period, but for a vampire.
Oh, yeah, that would make a good story.
I mean, to be fair,
to watch that.
It's free blood.
I meant the pain. I don't think a vampire could like just drink itself.
No, because then it turns into some sort of a weird monster. It keeps degenerating.
Just cannibal.
That's what the doctor does. He just drinks himself.
Right, can we get off the topic of
vampire periods?
Yeah.
I think.
Right. So,
okay. So, is there anything else you guys want to say about the Spiderwick Chronicles?
So that just stumped me. That just stumped me.
Okay, well, there were a few differences from like the books to the films. Like there was some characters who were just completely missing, like this dwarven culture that was just completely wiped out, and a character called Poonam, and he speaks.
Puka.
I mean, that sounds very obvious why he was just cut.
Yeah, Puka. Well, it was a riddle character basically. It would only speak in riddles. So it was the Riddler, basically.
I mean, that would make the plot go a lot better, because then there'd actually be a hint at a possible plot, even if there wasn't one.
The ending's pretty funny as well. The dad comes in, and the guy doesn't know if it's the monster or not, and he just goes, Dad, what do you need to tell me? And the dad's meant to like say that he's with another woman and stuff, but the whole family's there, so you could logically assume like there's social pressure. He doesn't want to say in that situation, so he just says, I love you, and the son then proceeds to stab him in the heart. And you see it's a monster, but it could have gone really bad if it wasn't.
So, yeah, for anyone who'd like to deeply envisage that scenario, and I'm sure you'll love to envisage someone doing that.
Ooh la la.
Stabbing your
dad walks through. It's a darkened room. Your mother is like, you left me like a month ago, what the hell? The children are like, I'm over this. The one child who had no idea about this breakup is like, Daddy, what's wrong? You told me something. You were going to tell me. It's like, son, love. I've just been stabbed. Okay, bye-bye, son. Bye-bye.
And then he turns into Abomination.
Yeah, then he starts, like, mutating his body and stuff, and it gets a bit gross.
Oh, and the best part of the film is that tomato sauce is officially a weapon, so no wonder why Josh is scared of it.
It's a completely different thing. We don't need to bring that up.
Oh yeah, just for the record, Josh is terrified of tomatoes.
I'm not terrified. I just don't want to eat them. They don't like being eaten.
What, did they just look right at you in your eyes and be like, bro, what are you doing? Do you want me to slap you?
No, like, I ate one once and it spat in my eye.
No way.
Yeah. So
Like a camel, it's like, get off.
So I refuse to eat them.
Freaking tomatoes, bro. Can't wait to ketchup them up tomorrow. Revenge.
He's absolutely terrified of them. I remember telling his mum that, and she just looked at him like, "What did I create?"
Alright. Well, that's nice. It's just turned into a segment of insulting me.
I did post something on social media saying about you saying hashtag sorry not sorry.
Wow.
That's going to be fun to see what that is.
Okay, so to move on from insulting Josh, it's time for you guys to insult me.
Oh, this is my
You
favourite
suck!
part. You've got glasses. You can hardly see.
What is that shirt you're wearing?
Guys,
Even your headphones has a bandage.
Boo, Shak!
What did you think was going to happen when you said that? What did you think?
I was trying to lead us on to another thing and stop you getting insulted.
I think you should invite the viewers to come up with the best insult as well, the listeners.
Yeah,
Remember
go on.
studio
Anyone-
at csifm.com?
Anyone listening in, every insult you can do, hashtag Shak.
Go for it. Honestly, go for it. This will be fun.
You say that now, but man, people are mean.
Not as mean as we can be.
That's true. We're like the pros here. Well, you did gather up like the best team of insulters.
Okay, so we have a very important question because recently, I don't know if we've told you this or not, Shak, before last week, has never seen Harry Potter in his entire life. Not one film, not read one book.
Happens.
No.
Thank you so much.
No.
Every reaction I've got, even earlier today, every reaction I've got is, how have you never seen Harry Potter?
Well, I watched them all. I binged them all one day 5 years ago. So,
See?
you know, I was late to the hype train as well.
Yeah. So thank you.
I'm not on your side. I'm just saying that happened.
he looked at something that said Gryffindor. It was red earlier. He was like, they can't even get the colour right. I don't even know Harry Potter, but I know it's not supposed to be red for Gryffindor. And we're like, oh, you sad little bunny.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been making him watch a Harry Potter film every week and getting him to review it. So,
Yes.
first of all, most important question. You're not having your phone. We know you're cheating.
Shit.
What family does Harry Potter live with? We asked him last week, he had no idea.
I know I'm going to probably say it wrong. The Dearleys or the Dursleys?
So which
Oh.
one is it?
Go why?
It was the Dearleys, yeah.
Oh, the first one I said, yes.
It's a lie, it's the Dursleys. Don't feel ashamed of yourself.
I don't care too much. It's a fictional family.
First of all, it's not fictional. Second of all,
It is fictional.
Gryffindor's a real place.
Gryffindor's not a place.
What is it? Is it a lifestyle?
Gryffindor is the house. One of the houses of Hogwarts.
She's clapping.
So it is a place, right?
No!
Yes, because
No.
they actually live in that house.
It's not. No, because it's like.
Right, breathe. Speak with your mouth and not your hands. I know what you're trying to say. It's like the whole culture they get into, and
I thought you were going to say it's the whole cult.
it could be like the way they play as some of them. Like look at the Slytherin, for instance. They're all about being mean to other people. That is a bit of a cult, right?
I'm a Slytherin.
Yeah, I can see you dressed in green.
Last week I had a Slytherin tie as well.
She dressed up for it.
Madness.
Yeah, she
He had a
dressed-
Jedi robe though.
I mean, to be fair, we dressed up for a radio show, so I don't know what we were thinking.
No one could see you. It's fine. You guys know that there's a live webcam that you guys could just
Oh
like
yeah,
watch.
we tell him that all the time just so he gets insecure.
Good.
Just nice.
Just like I trained you.
So what was your first impressions of the Chamber of Secrets? Did you think it was very secret?
I mean, the location of the chamber was very secret and very odd.
Please tell me, where was the secret? Where was the chamber?
I mean,
What was the
all I
secret?
know from this now is Voldemort is a bit pervy.
The Voldemort didn't make the chamber.
Did you? I mean,
No, Salazar Slytherin made the chamber.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on. I'm just going to do this in the background.
Someone slap her, please.
Okay. Back onto your point.
But yeah, it's. I mean, as a film as a whole, it's sort of I didn't like it as much as the first one. A big shocker. Everyone probably says that.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know. It just didn't feel as sort of unique and charming as the first. But I'm pretty sure they're just using it as a stepping stone to build on for later films. Like there was a plot point which I don't really know too much about, but Josh, when I was watching it with him, was just like, yeah, this is going to be answered a lot later, because Harry, he gets this tooth of the massive snake thing and then stabs it into a book, and that gets rid of ghost young Voldemort person.
Ghost young Voldemort person. You had a good question though about what Harry did with the Dursleys.
Oh yes. This was something that I wanted to ask, because apparently he goes back to the family after, like, in every film. In this film, they lock him in his room, and like he's not allowed to see his friends, so it's already a bit sort of.
But that was because of Dobby.
Oh, yeah, okay, true. But
Dobby's a bad influence. Don't get a Dobby.
They lock like his windows and stuff. So what happens is Ron gets his family car, and they hook it onto the window to break the.
Remember,
just remember the car flies.
Yeah, the bars on the windows.
They literally like built bars onto the windows.
Yeah, so yeah,
and did pedo eyes.
So yeah, they hook.
What did it? Okay. You watched a different movie to me, but okay.
That's what Uncle Vernon did.
Stupid Vernon.
Vernon.
Okay, so they hooked it onto the window, and then they broke the entire wall window bit off, and then Mr. Dursley.
Vernon.
Yes. Okay, I actually got his name right, that's why I was stopping. He comes out and he grabs Harry as Harry's going in the car, and then he falls out the window, and he's like landed there, and it's like he could have broken his neck, he could have been seriously injured.
And they just drive off. They're like, see ya, cha-cha.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's supposed to be like a sort of an annoying character, but then why would you go back there the next film? That's what I'm curious about.
Because he is, remember, like a billionaire in terms of wizarding money, and he's super rich, but because of his age of being like 12, 13, he can't actually get a house.
But why would they take him back there? Why would you have someone you don't like?
Because they may be scared of him. Remember what he does to them when he gets pissed off?
Wait, they just lock the door.
I don't think the door can stop him.
No, just keep going.
He just like, hello, more.
And then it's open. Then Wingardium Leviosa's everyone, and what are they going to do to him?
Yeah, but the thing is, he has all that power, and yet he lets them slap him around.
It's because he's a true wizard. He understands with great power comes great responsibility. Or is that a different film? Sorry.
Completely different film.
That's one of Shaq's favourites.
I mean, it links
Harry
with
Potter and the Spidery Web.
The Spiderwick Chronicles. There we go. Oh, and just because you mentioned doors, it reminds me of this point. I'm not going to even bother saying. The family, their son, has 2 bedrooms, so they just put Harry under the stairs just for the sake of.
For 11 years.
Fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Duh.
What I like to think about is they put a baby under the stairs. They didn't look after it. They just put a baby in a closet and locked the door while it was crying. Did they do that because it heard it crying? It's like, what do we do? I don't know. We only raised one. I don't know what to do with another baby. Put it under the cupboard.
Yeah, that was like confusing for me as well. Why did they actually take care of him? Were they related?
Yeah, they're related.
They're the legal guardians.
Because, like, even McGonagall was saying, why leave them with these monsters? I've looked at them all day, and they're the worst people. Let's put them in social care. Let's give them to a wizarding family. He's like, no. I know the Dark Lord is dead, but I don't know. He may come back. So we might as well give him to someone who will abuse him properly without magic.
And that's where the system fails miserably in fiction and reality.
Thank you, JK, for touching all of our hearts in pain.
Not yet for me, but.
I mean, you've watched a child be abused twice in a row.
And you're probably smiling while you were doing it as well. Admit it.
He was.
In like post, yes, but actually in the moment I actually was, and there's proof of this.
I have a photo of him looking really depressed, because one scene they grab Harry's ankle in the first film. He's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I love this film, but I'm not that attached. Also, there's a great picture of Harry grabbing the letters in the first film, and someone captioned it saying, "This is a great show of why Harry never made it into Ravenclaw. There's all these letters flying from the sky, but like a dozen on the floor which he could have grabbed instead. And that's why he's not the smart one. He's just the brave, dumb one." Because to be fair, he does literally no work. It's surprising that he even passed Hogwarts. Hermione did all his work.
Thank you, Hermione. That's why Hermione is where she is in real life.
Yeah, the Minister of Magic. Oh, right, real life, yeah. Okay. You said Hermione.
Emma Watson, man.
Okay, Emma Watson, the Minister of Magic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, then we're good. We're good. Sorry, Emma.
Sorry, I forgot your job. Okay, quickly, just gonna go some Dark Lord Funk.
Dark Lord Funk, amazing.
What is this nonsense?
You'll see.
Come on, Shaq. Play this tune for us.
Pay the.
He's super focused in that
It's
thing.
already there.
You just need to
Okay,
click
then
it.
you could have pressed play.
I wanted you to do it.
Subscribe! Alright, guys, thanks for watching, and.
Okay, well, I mean, you can subscribe to us if you want, but maybe later. Okay. Oh yeah, hang on. There we go.
There we
Everyone's
go.
back.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can speak now. Sweet.
Yeah, it was only just me speaking for a bit. It must have been horrible for you guys.
I also tell down the volume to our headphones. Is that any better?
Oh,
As well
yes.
for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
Not shouting now.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we doing next, guys?
We are doing a Back to Hogwarts quiz with Bogdan.
Ba-dum-bum.
How good he is at Harry Potter.
Not that great, FYI. Probably better than Shaq still, but.
Definitely, because he already got this question wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so which creature is depicted in the emblem for the Gryffindor house? An eagle, a badger, a snake, or a lion?
Lion.
Okay. Correct.
Yes. Do I get some magical points or something?
You
No.
get 5 points to whatever house you belong to.
Nice.
I'm going to say a Hufflepuff.
Oh, that makes two of them.
Are you actually a Hufflepuff?
No, but sure, why not?
Knew it. Among the wizarding community, the term muggle refers to what kind of person? A magical person with only one magical parent.
Mm-hmm.
A magical person who's really bad at magic, like Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
A non-magical
Ron.
person. Oh yeah, he's
He's
or
just the
Seamus.
worst. Oh yeah.
A non-magical person from a non-magical family. A non-magical person from a
It's
magical
A.
family.
Well, only one magical parent. Isn't it? That's what it is. Half blood sort of thing. No?
Half-blood and muggle are completely different.
Really?
I'm gonna pray for you tonight, don't worry.
I feel I'm saved.
True or false?
So what was the real answer? Like
You'll know later. Keep you on the edge of the seat. Everyone else at home will probably know the answer.
Oh, you gotta
They're
remember this
probably
question.
To be fair, even
Oh,
I
yeah.
know the answer here, so it's actually a shame on you.
Okay,
fine.
go on, tell us.
What
is
is
it?
What was the question again?
No.
What is a muggle?
Oh yes, I know the answer. I'm not going to say it because otherwise he knows the answer.
Well, I've already goofed it, so you might as well say it for my
Okay.
own like
Okay,
knowledge.
fine then. For your own knowledge sake, it's people with non-magic abilities.
Yes, actually.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they refer to civilians like from the real world. Okay, yeah, nah, I'm with you. That's fine.
True or false? Professor Dumbledore's spectacles are rectangular.
False.
I think that's... Yeah.
I love that as a
I swear
hardcore fan, you still need to check the answers before you correct me or not.
No, because I was thinking about it. It's like, I swear they're rounded. They're half-moon glasses. So technically, they're both
So-
rectangle and circular.
But I'm still in the lead by 1
No,
point.
you can't be half a rectangle.
He
That's
beats,
not.
he beats the question.
Yeah, it's not a rectangle.
It's kind of a square, but what else?
Which Hogwarts student says, I don't go looking for trouble. Trouble usually finds me.
I genuinely don't know.
I'll give you some options.
Give me some options.
Fred Weasley, Ron Weasley, these are really weird pictures, Draco Malfoy, and Harry Potter. Just for reference, the Ron Weasley one is just falling down a chute and he's very, very large.
You
Back.
could show him. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I'm looking.
So, Draco, Ron, Fred or Harry?
Fred?
It's gonna be Harry.
Ah, and I wanted to say that.
I mean, who gets in trouble every film? Is it Fred Weasley and the Chamber of Secrets? Is it?
No.
No.
There's no.
Who is it?
Harry?
There we go.
What's wrong, Shaq? Come on.
Sorry, I just saw what he searched. It was Dumbledore. It's like, to get a picture of his face, cool. Then he types in the word Dumbledore hot.
What are you into these days, bro? There's something wrong with you.
Some,
To be fair,
Some like the
to be
Mulder.
fair, look how young he is. I didn't expect the young
That counts
ones.
as like 50.
Yeah.
The person plays like 50, he's not young. Anyway, back to the quiz.
he's young for Shaq.
Fun fact, did you know they had to change the actor from the original Dumbledore in like the second film because the first one was a bit of an alcoholic?
I thought he
No,
died.
He died?
Yeah, for being an alcoholic.
Oh.
I'm sure that wasn't the cause, but it helped to it quite a lot.
That's
Fun
I mean,
facts.
like,
That
back to the-
depressing.
I mean, I guess I'll find out next
Isn't
week.
that the theme of your show?
Yeah, we do have a lot of genocide. Okay. Members of Ravenclaw House are known for possessing which two of the following traits? Cunning, wit, loyalty, or intelligence. Don't you dare touch that button.
See what question you're on. What does it say?
What was the name of the house again?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
And your options are cunning, wit, loyalty, intelligence.
Wit and intelligence. Because they're kind of the same thing.
Okay.
Ow.
That was not as dramatic as I thought it was going to be.
Correct.
Yes!
Takes 5 minutes to press a button.
I know.
No, it just wouldn't let me press anything.
Stupid phone.
I hate phones. I used to not want them for years. What was the incantation for the summoning charm? You're going to hate this question. Anapenye?
Sounds legit.
Apparicium.
Uh-huh.
Avis and Accio and Elvis.
That one, Avis and Accio?
No,
they're
they're
two different
separate.
ones.
Oh.
So you have Avis,
Mhm.
you have Elvis,
Yeah.
you have Accio, you have Apparicium, you have Anapenye.
A Paraceum.
You want the one that sounds like paracetamol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that one.
Wrong.
Really?
Because paracetamol doesn't summon pain, it sends it away.
Other brands of pain relievers available.
It was Accio.
Accio.
Like, achoo.
Ach.
That's how you, like, it destroys it because you sneeze.
Yeah.
That's your link.
No.
Just gotta give a big shout out to Shane Wilkinson. He's listening. He's laughing. He says we suck, so thank you.
Thank you, Shane.
Only for you.
Whatever you're into, Shak. What colours the Hogwarts Express?
Hmm.
Indigo, emerald, green, scarlet, or scarlet blood?
Scarlet blood.
Correct.
Thank
Because
you.
What's the difference between scarlet and scarlet blood?
Well, one of them's more bloody.
Well, one was one I made up and one wasn't.
So you gave him an option that wasn't there. What happens if
She
you
was
chose-
testing me, bro, and I owned it.
Yeah, because that one didn't exist. It was scarlet. How are parcels and letters sent in the wizarding world? Broomstick, wizard postman, flu network, or owls?
Owls, obviously.
Obviously, come on, what about a postman? Wizard postman or a broomstick?
What
or
has he got, like
banana?
little fairy wings? Like a fat guy with fairy wings just going around.
Yeah, it's actually the tooth fairy.
No way, he like double shifts.
I mean, everyone needs a night shift now and again. Or a day shift for the Tooth Fairy.
Question 9 of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which Hogwarts student says, just because you've got the emotional range of a teaspoon doesn't mean we all have? Cho Chang, Hermione Granger, Pansy Parkinson, or Ginny Weasley?
Ginny.
Okay. No.
Ooh, was it the other one? Was it Emma's character? It was. Oh man, I really wanted to say that.
She is the only one who was insulting in the way that's half-assed sassy.
I know, but yeah, I thought I'd be original. Maybe it's a trick question. I don't know what you people. Nothing is safe in this studio.
Nothing is ever safe in here. Like
You're
I
welcome.
said, we've got Shaq.
I know.
What do Harry and Ron crash into when they fly Arthur Weasley's Ford Anglia to Hogwarts? Even says the car.
By the way, just so you know, whenever Shaq gets one right, he does this little thumbs up dance in
Yeah,
the
I can
corner.
see him doing it. I can only see his thumbs because the screens are in the way.
He's like, oh, thumbs. Oh, he wants you to see his face.
Thumbs up to this?
Yes, thumbs up to that too. hang on. Hold it up.
I'm gonna hold it up. What's the
Go
last
on.
question?
Okay, so what do Harry and Ron crash into when they fly Arthur Weasley's car to Hogwarts?
A house.
Just bang. I mean, you could
Okay,
give him the
so-
options.
Oh yes, there are.
No,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
yes.
The Hogwarts Express,
No.
the Great Lake,
No.
the Astronomy Tower,
Maybe.
or the Whomping Willow.
The Whomping Willow.
Are you counting the Whomping Willow as a house now?
Yeah. Deal with
I mean,
it.
Your
technically.
results? You scored!
Yes!
Dreadful!
Yes!
Legit dreadful.
Legit dreadful.
So you didn't get top marks. That's okay.
To be fair, you got dreadful for 6 out of 10. That's
Really?
not that bad.
I got a 6 out of 10 and that's dreadful.
Yes.
You guys would like kill students if you were teachers. They would kill themselves, God forbid.
We're like
That's a 60%. That's like a D. That's a fat D.
Uni's a 2-1. You go 2-1, you're dreadful.
Yes, just what? You're like sorted for life for a 2-1 in uni. Are you mad?
You're dreadful, mate.
Nah, Hogwarts is all over.
They take your wand and everything. They kill your owl. They
This
turn
is
it.
what happened to like Hagrid in reality.
Yeah.
He got a 60%, and then he just got made to live in a shack
They
outside.
took his owl, turned it into Tajin.
He lives in you. You've got a giant in you, mate.
Oh god.
Wait, what?
I mean, that's very
The
ironic.
shack. He lives in a. I mean, that's not a hard joke. He's called Shak. You said he lives in a
I
shack.
thought you said something completely inappropriately different.
Yeah, me too, but I just like left it. Remember, if you don't point it out, maybe you can get away with it.
Okay, so you're going to read us something very interesting,
Yes.
aren't you?
Because of the second movie, I went for a snake theme. Basilisk snake.
Okay, so for those of you who are just tuning in today, we have something very weird.
Yes, but luckily he's
is-
not asked this time.
No, it is called Fudged Up Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
Basically, we've got the traditional Grimm stories, and we just sort of read them out and just sort of look how bad they are.
We tale them to modern viewers and listeners and explain what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
We're basically like marking them like a teacher, but making it more interesting than a teacher would.
Mhm.
Without
Right.
a green pen.
Anyway,
Take it away.
start off. This one's called The Three Snake Leaves. Once upon a time, there was a poor man who could no longer afford to keep his son. So his son said, "Dear father, you have fallen on very hard times, and I'm a burden to you." He's a
Yeah.
quite self-aware son.
Yeah, a very proactive son.
He says, "It will be better if I go away and try and earn my living." I mean, he's young, so he's under 18, and he's already going, I'm going to go
We
off
might
now.
be 12. In the olden days, they used to send kids off like very early.
And
Yeah, they used to have kids by the time they were 13.
that's a depressing and weird thought.
I mean, they were up the chimneys before. Like
But
that.
yeah, but they were dead by the time they were 35. So that helps.
I mean, they died in the chimneys as well. If it makes you
That's
feel
what I
better.
thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say they died halfway up the chimney.
Well, depends what sort of family they lived in. If it's the Harry Potter
okay.
situation again.
Back to the story. Back to the story.
His father gave him his blessing and took leave of him with great sadness. At this time, the king of a powerful kingdom was engaged in a war. The young man took service with him and joined the fighting. And when they met their enemy, a battle took place, because that's what sort of happens when two sides of combat meet.
Yeah.
They
Uh-huh.
fight.
I mean, they could sit down and play cards.
I would do that.
That's why you don't fight. I mean, you don't fight because of your size as well, but...
Oh.
And there was a great peril and a great hail of bullets. And when his comrades were falling around from him, and even when his commander was killed, the rest wanted to run away, but a young man stepped forward and rallied, crying, "We must not let our father's land perish." So he ran towards gunfire because he loves his dad.
Yeah. I love my dad too, so I'll get shot as well.
Good idea. I mean, it says that it's a kingdom of another land,
Yeah.
so it's not his land, so
Yeah.
it's not his fatherland.
Yeah.
So he's dying for, he loves his dad, so he dies for another country.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Bit strange.
Yeah. And as he said this, the others followed him, and he pressed forward and defeated the enemy. When the king heard that he owed the victory to him alone, and he raised him above all the others and gave him a great deal of wealth and made him the first man in his kingdom. I don't know why he's the first man. I'm presuming.
Everyone else was female up until this point.
Yeah.
Or still deciding.
No, they died in the war. That was it. He was the only man left. So
He's
he
the
had to
only
be
man
first.
left. Yeah. The king had a daughter who was very beautiful. Again, it's
Every
always
story starts with,
Of
there
course,
was a beautiful
of course.
girl
Yeah.
who hated her stepmother.
yeah. No, this one's a bit different.
Very witch.
But there was something strange about her. She had made a vow that she would take no man for her lord or husband unless he promised to let himself be buried alive when she died.
What the hell?
And if
I mean, for me, this reminds me of that Family Feud clip where Steve Harvey's. It's about this cat who. It's like what you do when you die. And it's like the woman goes like, "Oh, I choose my cat to die with me." And it's like he's just like, "So you're dead, and you're gonna take your cat with you? What is wrong with you?"
You would
The
actually do
Egyptians
that.
did it.
Admit it. You would totally go for that. You wouldn't even like think twice.
Oh, no, no, no.
I love
He
animals,
doesn't wait
actually.
until he's dead. I found them already under his bed. There's like 20 dead cats.
You're the one with the plushies.
let's ignore that.
No, I think we should talk about that.
Oh, I've tried. He won't even go to their therapy about
God
it. All the
damn
dead
it.
cats, all the dead dogs. We won't even talk about the people in the closet.
Right.
There's only skeletons in there, actually.
It's only been like 2 days. What have you done?
Let me tell the story.
Tell the story there. By the way, no pressure.
Yeah.
Shane Wilkinson is listening. Studio manager, FYI. Better be well.
We love you. Thank you for the job.
Her reason was, if he
Shout out.
truly loves me, why does he want to go and live in a world where she's not there? She was prepared to do the same for him if he died first.
I mean, true love, crushed by dirt.
I love how you're laughing when you say if she died first.
Maybe he's envisaging himself as the husband. You're like, what have you done first?
Freedom!
Oh, he gets to that.
Oh.
This strange vow had,
Spoiler alert.
had deterred all suitors, but the young man was so entranced by her beauty that he didn't care that he had to be killed if she died first.
Madness.
Yep. So he asked his father for a hand. His father went, but do you know the promise you will have to make? That he said that I'll have to go to the grave with her if I outlive her. But my love is so great, I care not for a daughter. I don't like how to define love. It's just they're attractive.
Yeah, it's lust.
Yeah.
It's lust.
In every story. But anyway, the king then consented and the marriage was celebrated with great magnificence.
Woo!
Yes.
Bring on
Yeah.
them babies!
And the cake!
Yeah. And
Who cares about the kids? Just get cake.
Oh, yeah.
Cake out the priorities.
What
Yeah.
else is there?
They now lived happily and contented for a time, and then it happened that the young queen fell seriously ill, and no doctor could help her.
Whoops.
And when she lay there dead, the young king remembered that he had made a promise, and he was filled with horror at the thought to be buried alive with her.
Actually, I've got a solution. All he needs is a snorkel. Fine, sorted.
I don't think those work in dirt.
What about food?
Fine. Twinkie, snorkel, bottle of water.
And some cheesy puffs.
Cheesy puffs, Twinkie.
It just grows into a cheesy puff tree.
Right.
Oh, I would love one of those, bro. No joke. That'd be it. Like, I'd be sorted.
This is hard to stay on
But
topic.
he has to be.
Really?
He has a dead
Yes.
guy in the ground beneath
This
the
is
tree.
a business agreement
Okay.
we do, a cheesy puff tree in the future.
Yes, man. We should do a cheesy puff challenge on the radio.
Definitely.
Yes,
Your
that'll be
show
great
next
to
My
week.
show next week.
Yeah.
On the 6th,
Yeah.
cheesy puff challenge, 3
Yeah.
p.m. Be there.
Will do.
God. But he tried to flee, but there's no help for it, because the king had ordered all the gates to be watched, and there's no way for him to get out. When the day came for the queen's dead body to be laid to rest in the royal vault, he was taken down with her, and the door was locked and bolted.
I have a question. Sorry to
That's
interrupt
weird.
you yet again.
Yes.
That book is quite thick. How much of it are you reading?
4 pages.
Wow.
It's one story. There's a lot of stories in this book.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
I think the show will gradually become this
Yeah.
story.
They slowly get longer and longer and longer. I mean, last time it was the weirdest part was she had a chicken leg to open a door, but she lost it, so she cut off her finger and used the finger to open the door.
Ah, sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
let's get back to
Yes. Beside the coffin stood a table on which there were 4 candles, 4 loaves of bread, and 4 bottles of wine. As soon as his provisions gave out, he would die of hunger.
Happens.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So
Twilight.
I know.
So he sat there, full of grief and sorrow, only eating a morsel of bread and eating only a mouthful of wine, drinking. I know I said eating. And yet he realised that his death was coming closer and closer. Now, as he sat there, staring in front of him, he saw a snake crawl out of one corner of the vault and approach the coffin. Thinking it was going to gnaw at the dead body, he drew his sword and exclaimed, "You shan't touch her as long as I am alive."
Ooh.
And
She's dead. Have at.
I mean, it's going to decompose
Yeah.
anyway.
Shaq, don't go there.
right, so we hacked the snake into 3 pieces, and then a few moments later, another snake crawled out of the corner. But when it saw the other snake lying dead and dismembered, it turned back and went back into the hole.
I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, and came back out, and he was carrying 3 leaves in its mouth. And then he took them to the snake and put them on where they belonged, like put the pieces back together, laid one of the leaves on each of the wounds, and at once the dismembered parts joined, and the snake stirred and came back to life, and both the snakes basically vaulted out of the vault.
Wait, so if there's magic leaves, I'm just gonna assume, does he get like a magic leaf, put it on his dead wife, she's alive, so they can just both leave? Do they
Yeah.
just
Okay. So
text-
we just skipped about
Well done,
Yeah.
Isabella!
Now, we just skipped the paragraph.
Okay,
cool.
start from there. Start from there.
No, so we're skipping that part. We don't need to. That's what basically happens.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You're good at this.
I should have been in
Yes.
Ravenclaw.
There we go.
Yeah. Totally.
But since being brought back to life, his wife had undergone a change. It was as if all her love for her husband had been drained out of her heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what she asked and brought her back.
Oh,
Yeah.
so unfortunate.
Sometime later, he decided to make a voyage across the sea to visit his old father.
Darling.
And after they had boarded the ship, she forgot the great love and loyalty he had shown her, and how he had saved her from death. And she conceived a guilty passion for the ship's captain.
Oh, ooh la la.
Tell me more about that. Do you have any pictures?
No,
No, we only have videos, I'm sorry.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll show
yeah,
you. There's
I'll
one
have
down
it.
there, but I'll show you that in a bit.
Maybe a few drawings.
One day later, when the young king was lying asleep, she called the captain and seized her sleeping husband by the head and made the captain take him by the feet and thus threw him into the sea.
What?
Yep.
So, he's dead if she's alive. He's dead if she's dead. What's the point in marrying her? There was
She's
zero.
attractive.
It's love, innit?
Yeah. When
Incentive.
She was PMSing. The incentive for love.
When this shameful deed was done,
For divorce.
she said to the sea captain, "Now let's go home and we'll say he died at sea." I mean, she's not wrong.
So the seaman's right.
You can leave it to me to keep singing your praises to my father, till he marries me to you and makes you his heir. But the faithful servant who had witnessed the whole thing... Oh yeah, he had a faithful servant. I had to jump that because you basically ruined the part where she came back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, did they put the servant in with him?
No. They did it all daylight. So basically, the guys, like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, everyone's up on the ship, they pick him up and just chuck him off.
No.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, not wait for cover. He
I mean,
witnessed
she's
the whole
kind of
thing.
the queen, so.
That's what she wants.
She secretly lowered.
Beyonce.
Right. The servant secretly lowered a small boat from the ship and set out in it, following his master and letting the traitors sail away. He fished up the drowned man and put the 3 snake leaves which he had given him. The masters gave him the 3 snake leaves, and then the young king put him on a young king's eyes and mouth, and he successfully restored him to life.
It sounds like a really annoying OP thing for D&D.
It sounds like a reverse scenario of that Game of Thrones episode where they kill the young king.
Just bring it back.
Spoilers for Game of Thrones watchers out there.
Then they
not
rolled
spoilers, I didn't
day and
know.
night, and with might and main their boat. Bear in mind that's a rowboat. Had got there faster than the big ship.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
They
No,
got
not magic.
They've got
No.
leaves.
No.
She
the
calls
servants
it
are like a
magic.
bulk. They're
Yeah.
swole. They're just going
Yeah,
to
they're just-
rowboats. They're
I
gonna
think your
row.
story's wrong. It was magic. Deal with it.
It was magic.
They went to Hogwarts.
Stupid book.
He was astonished. The king was astonished to see them arriving alone, and had asked what happened to them. When he heard of his daughter's weakness, he said, "I can't believe she did so evil a thing, but the truth will still come to light." He told them to both go into a secret room and let no one know of their presence. Soon after this, a big ship came sailing in, and the princess's godless wife appeared before her father with a sorrowful air. I don't know how you make the air sorrowful, but whatever. Just calm down doing that. And he said, "Why have you returned alone? Where's your husband?" She said, "Oh dear father, I've come home in great grief. During the voyage, my husband suddenly fell sick and died."
Now got a new BF.
Well, I mean, he fell. That was true.
Yeah. And
He didn't lie.
if the kind ship's captain had not helped me, the illness would have gotten me too. But he was
Touching.
present at my husband's death. I can tell you all what happened. The king said,
Ooh.
"I will bring the dead man back to life." And he opened the door, and in the door was the 2 men.
And then they
Yeah.
caught them in a very compromising situation. They're like,
Yeah.
oh damn, they're playing
One's on
sneakers.
the knees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
And it's just like Scrabble. Everyone's here lit trip. Get out, it's very insulting.
Right. So, when the woman saw the husband, she stood as thunderstruck, then fell to her knees and begged for mercy. The king said, "There can be no mercy
Wow.
for you. He was ready to die with you,
Suck it,
and he
lady.
gave you your life back. But you murdered him in his sleep, and you shall have your just reward."
If they kill her, then he has to die again.
Yeah, like he's screwed either way. He's so screwed. This poor guy just can't catch a break. Is this like a metaphor for real marriage or something?
Yes.
One more sentence in this story.
Okay.
Find out what happens.
Then she and her accomplice were put on a boat, a boat full of holes, and sent out to sea, where they perished in the waves.
So yeah, it was a boat full of
So he's gonna die.
They're still dying at the end of this story. Why are you promoting these stories, bro?
I mean, as long as they don't know she's dead, the guy's fine.
Yeah.
And
I
they
mean,
want a boat full of hose as well.
actually-
you cannot.
Holes.
Holes, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
gonna sink. Okay, never mind. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad.
So they'll be fine.
Wait. So
I'm on a boat. Look at me.
so if they don't have her body and she doesn't go in the vault, he doesn't need to go in the vault.
Clearly
I
not.
think-
Like, there's a technicality of I could have burnt her body and got away with it and not had to die.
Oh yeah, why didn't he just do that in the beginning?
Because he loved her.
That's not love.
It's scaredness.
Scared.
I think you'll find that's called fear.
Scaredness. I like that word better.
Okay, I've
Goodness.
got a challenge for you three.
A challenge.
Okay.
A challenge,
It's a very
as they
quick
say in
challenge.
the
Posts
France.
will be put on social media as it's very
Pass
closely
it
drawing.
along. Be kind
Okay.
to your fellow Shak.
We'll put the post on social media as the time is drawing very close to the end of our segment.
Bum bum bum.
So
Everyone pick a colour.
we need a countdown timer.
You have
Salmon.
Salmon.
Yes. the
Countdown
word.
time is salmon.
Of course,
Okay.
a girl's gonna have salmon. No stereotype there.
Okay, everyone pick one colour.
Give me salmon.
Oh, you want salmon? I see.
Thank you.
I thought that was
Give
the
me blue.
countdown.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I get black. That works.
Okay, you have 60 seconds to draw me the best monster. Don't look at Shak. I swear to God, I'm talking to you, Bogdan.
Oh man, I was okay. Fine.
It's like, damn it,
You
my
look at
idea.
Josh.
I'm not drawing Shaq.
Aw.
It's just me.
Whoever
Maybe
does
later.
the best monster, starting 10
I've already
seconds ago,
started.
according to Josh, was 10 seconds ago. I will be the most amazing judge in the world. I don't know what Bogdan is trying to achieve here.
It's a friendly monster.
Are you drawing like...
Shut up. This is art. This is art. Do not be messing with my art, woman.
This is Picasso right here.
All right. Also, we've got Dave in the droid sending you a message. What is up? And shout out to everyone listening to your show.
Shout out to Dave as well.
You should be friends with Dave. Dave actually lives in the droid. Sometimes he sends me podcasts. You should totally chat with him. You can have like a full-blown conversation of a podcast with him.
Nice.
He's like one of our long-term listeners. He loves us. He found us one day on a link, and it's just been listening for 5 years or something.
You wish like, Dave, we need to talk about this. You're just kind of a bit obsessed. I like the size difference in all these pictures. I've just noticed, like, yours takes up a whole page, yours takes up a thumb. Shaq,
This is not a thumb.
that looks like a thumb to me.
I mean, mine.
Are you just like looking in the mirror and like drawing whatever you see, bro? We talked about this.
That reminds me of like someone talking when there was a GCSE exam paper and there was like draw the female reproductive system.
Right.
This girl,
Oh, God.
We're gonna have to stop now
Yeah.
because.
Yeah. Stop.
Stop.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Submissions are in.
Okay.
Oh.
So you got to tell us the winner now, and the post
Oh.
will all be up
Yeah,
on
30
social
seconds.
media.
Okay. I already know a fail when I see one, Shaq.
Are you gonna post these on your social
Yes.
media or
Yes.
something?
Yes.
They will all be. And Bogdan, you can post yours on yours as well.
Okay,
No,
I
for
quite
real.
like the. Okay. This is hard. Okay. It's between Josh and Bogdan, so Shaq, I need your input.
Oh, okay. I don't know whose is whose, but I've got to say I always am a fan of unicorns. So that one.
This one?
Yes.
Josh is the winner!
Okay. Okay. And since Josh is the winner,
That is all we have
chicken
time for.
dinner. Now.
For the vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly, because we're like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, end of the show, guys. We'll catch you next.